Hi there everyone. It's been quite a while since I did any videos. I've been really busy and finally got back to this hobby that I enjoy, which is restoring vintage domestic sewing machines. The machine that you see in front of you is in a really fun emerald metallic green color, and it's called a Morse Super Dial. Now, Morse was a distributor of sewing machines in the 50s and 60s. And they sold quite a lot of machines in different models. They had all sorts of different features. This is one of their dedicated straight stitch models. Now, after the Second World War, the U.S. was trying to help rebuild the Japanese economy when the war ended. And so there were several companies in Japan that were encouraged to make sewing machines and then ship them to the United States. And you're looking at one of them. And one of the manufacturers was called Toyota. And long before Toyota made cars for sale in the United States, they actually made sewing machines. A lot of people don't know that. Sometimes you will see the Toyota stamping in the chassis of the machine, but not always. But in this case, it actually says Toyota on it. And I'm going to try to remember when I post this on Craigslist to get a picture of that Toyota stamping. But if you have a Morse, even if it doesn't say Toyota on it, it's a good chance Toyota made it. This machine is a dedicated straight stitch. It has a 1 amp motor, very powerful. It has the this sort of cool pearlized plastic dial here on the front, and of course it says stitches per inch, so you can adjust your stitch length. Then reverse is here, and on this little push button start area. It also has the feature of being able to lower feed dogs. Many of you never use this feature. The reason I know that over history is that almost every machine I've ever had that came with a feed dog drop, I really have to go through it and overhaul it because most of them are stuck. They're not broken, they just don't work because they've never been lubricated or used. And so I went back and made sure that this one did work. Let's see, you've got a place here where you will put a spool of thread for winding a bobbin. Your bobbin winder is right here. You simply push in and then it pops out when it's full. You have, of course, your motor is mounted on the back. Tension adjustment is here. It's a very simple thread pattern. It's one of the simplest I've ever seen. So when you thread the machine, you're not going to have to remember that many places to thread it. And of course, it takes standard sewing needles and class 15 bobbins. It uses the Singer 15 basic design. Of course, this is a modification of it. It has a light. And I'm in daylight today, which I love to do my videos in, so I'm not going to use that, but I wanted to show you that it worked. Everything on the machine works. You have pressure bar adjustment here. And let's see, your bobbin goes down here in the side. And it is a beast of a machine. If you have heavy fabrics, you can also sew garment leather with this machine. What I have in here now is a size 18 jeans needle. Usually, if you're going to sew heavy fabrics, duck cloth or denims, just one example, any kind of canvas, you normally will want to use a jeans needle. Jeans needles are a little beefier, and then this is, of course, a size 18. So the heavier the fabric, normally the larger the needle you're going to need. And again, I like jeans needles because they're tougher and they're more resistant to breaking. So no needle is guaranteed to not break, but this will give you a little bit of head start on such things. So this is a piece of fabric I've been using. I always test my machines to make sure they're sewing properly. The stitch tension looks beautiful, and you can see the nice long stitcher. I'm going to do some demonstrating. This is 2 layers of cargo pant with one of those dense cargo seams, and then I've got some denim I'll do for you guys to show you how that works. So go ahead and start with, I'm just going at a moderate pace here, and it just hit that seam right there at the cargo pant, went right over it. We'll come back. I'll reverse to do my back tacking. And you can go relatively fast, but again, I like being able to slow down a bit. You can see I'm slowing my needle down. One of the reasons you can do this is, as I go through the process of restoring machines, I check different things. Sometimes the vintage foot pedals are fine, and I, like I say, I've used many of them before. But the one that came with this machine, I didn't like how it was operating, so I replaced it. It has a new electronic foot pedal. That's part of what's been done on this restoration. So I'm going to pull this up for a moment. I want to show you guys, and I've been sewing on it for a while, but I want you to see it. I want you to see, make sure I get it in front of the camera properly. All of these white, get it to focus there. There we go. I knew I could get it to focus eventually. But if you look at these white seams, guys, excuse me, the white stitches. There we go. Yeah, and then here's the other side. If you look at the white. Really nice, strong stitching there. Now I'm going to... This is denim that came off of a pair of Levi's. I believe it was Levi's or Wrangler. It's a very heavy, pretty good quality denim. You know, you can get blue jeans with cheaper grades of denim, but this is one of the nicer ones. And as you can see, I'm going to start, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Here, 2 layers of denim, and then you're also going to see these really dense seams. And those are things that modern sewing machines often have problems with. They don't like sewing those. But we're going to put this under the needle here. And I'm slowing it down just so you can see the needle movement. We'll come back over it. And I went at sort of a moderate pace, and the machine did not even notice, or didn't even strain. And again, that's one sign of a great sewing machine. There we go. I want to make sure this thing is focusing in so you guys can actually see the stitches.